Hello everybody, and welcome to today's Sunday sermon, which is on Ascension Sunday. On Ascension Sunday, we remember that Jesus went back to his Father and he made himself available to us ever after. It didn't mean that he was going away and leaving us. And before he left, he asked his disciples, "Go ye therefore and proclaim the good news to all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that he had commanded them to do."
The Ascension Day is traditionally celebrated on a Thursday, the 40th day of Easter. However, some Roman Catholic provinces have moved the observance to the following Sunday. What we are to do is firmly stated from the mouth of Jesus in the Gospel. I quote, "Go therefore and make disciples of all the nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you." End of quote. This was said to a small band of people such as the 11 apostles. Pope Francis said on the 13th of May 2018, I quote, "This mission begun by the apostles has been carried out by their successors throughout the ages and continues even today. It requires the collaboration of all of us." End of quote. As reported by Christopher Wells of Vatican News. How do we collaborate with the bishops and the priests in this great mission of making disciples of all nations? Us, mere Christians, mere Catholics. It is not as difficult as we may think. Most of the time we lead by example, by living good and holy lives. Remember, we are not alone. We meet Christ in our fellow women and men whom we encounter in various ways. If we look at the responsorial psalm today, we see a beautiful image of what heaven is like, and I will explain to you why I find this important.
All the throngs of heaven are there assembled around the throne of God and giving him praise. But maybe what we don't hear enough about is the fact is that they are supporting us in our efforts at doing right and being good people. So every time we do good, there's a great cheer in heaven, like in a stadium when somebody scores a goal. The only difference is everybody in the stadium is supporting the person scoring the goal. And the one that's scoring the goal is like us when we do good, help others, forgive others, look after people who are sick, look after our families, aim for peace and justice, do right in our communities. There's great cheers in heaven when you do that. But you can imagine when we do bad, hatred, revenge, stealing, bribery, corruption, all that, and all the other sins you can think of. There must be a great disappointment, like you hear in a stadium when somebody drives the ball wide. Everybody goes, "Ah." And this maybe is what's happening. Let's use our imagination to get this point across. There's no harm in using our imaginations. Our imaginations lead us to the truth as well. That's why fairy tales and child's stories were all with a great message. The message of truth. Just use your imagination that when you're doing good, you have a great crowd behind you cheering you on. But when you do bad, there is a great sense of disappointment among the saints and the angels. And remember all the saints, the communion of saints, all the wonderful people that are there, the ones we commemorate and love, St. Francis, St. Thomas Aquinas, etc., St. Patrick, etc., etc., all the saints. They're there clapping and praising us. But then when we do bad, they feel so disappointed.
Remember to think about God and God issues. The more He is in our mind, the more we become like Him. A good example of experiencing God's love, if there is sunshine, take a little chair, go out and sit for a moment or two or three and sit in the sun. Close your eyes. Allow the heat to soak into your body. This is the love of God. This is like the love of God enveloping you and infusing itself into your very being. I would advise that we don't look at the ascension as this lifting up of Jesus and ascending like the rockets that we sometimes see going into space. Although there is no harm in that. Yet the most important thing to meditate on is that Jesus is back in His rightful place in heaven, and that He is at the same time very near to us.
In our first reading today from Acts of the Apostles, it is described that Jesus went up to heaven, and the disciples and the apostles were there looking up, and two angels appeared, and they said, "Why are you there looking up into heaven? The one that has gone up there will come back in the same way." And that's what we're celebrating today. And then the angels said, "Go back to Jerusalem. Remember what He told you to do." And the disciples went back to Jerusalem, and they waited for the Holy Spirit, which we will be celebrating next Sunday. Like the disciples, we may be living in the past. Like looking up is like looking into the past and say, "Oh, I wish He was still here. Oh, I wish I could go back to those old days. I wish I was this, I wish I was that." The reality is, He has gone up, He's coming back. We have nothing to fear, we have nothing to be sad about. But He will be with us, and He will definitely be with us in His Spirit. So, we get on with our lives when bad things happen, and when we find that we are still here, and we are still living and breathing. We may not be totally, fully fit, yet we are here, and God has given us another chance if we have been sick and now we are okay, or even if we are still sick and there's no hope for us. Let's put it all in God's place. Don't live and wallow in self-pity. Jesus is with you. Who else would be better to help you through these moments? And if God's will is that we should be healed, it will happen. May God bless you. Also today we are remembering 4,200 of United Nations peacekeepers have been killed in action during their duties of trying to keep peace in countries. And we remember them especially. And we remember also those who are still on the field and out there in the front lines, as it were, trying to make a difference, trying to bring peace. May God be with them also. And all of you, if you're looking at this and you're a peacekeeper, God bless you. Not only soldiers, which we love and honor and are so grateful for their service, as well as police, but also lay people who decide to go out and help the situations that the world is in at the moment. May God bless you all. Bye for now. Have a lovely Sunday and a lovely peaceful week.